took it upon ourselves to just, last minute throw this together. We took the yearbook and we just, instead of getting a printout, we just addressed, all the addresses are back here. We sat down one night, the four of us did everything. We figured out how much it would cost, at the club per person. All of a sudden, the phones were hopping. People were like, is this a fluke? We hear we're having a reunion. Is this? I said, it's no joke, Checks started coming in, word of mouth. People were just really enthusiastic. And I mean, right up until the end, people still were sending their checks in. Well, people wanted to get together again. We had such a derelict class, we were... Definitely. It would have been very typical of us to not have one. The only class in history, 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 in history.
74 was a bad year. Not the beginning of the 70s.
It was a difficult time.
It was a very difficult time. It was an antagonistic time.
It was a bitter, hostile period.
Yeah, it was you against us.
There seemed to be a greater understanding of what makes the political system work.
I really don't remember too much. Somehow, I didn't think any of the students I knew used drugs until that boy fainted on me. Isn't that naive?
My fondest memories of the 4-year period that the class of 74 would be involved in would be memories of a nucleus of students who contributed what I would regard as a very positive, creative spirit and a creative energy.
I think you were a golden age. You knew that you'd get jobs. You were quite confident about that.
And college wasn't important. Your average student could care less about going into college. In fact, they wanted to find everything else but. Their relevance was to travel across the country, to get involved in a lot of anything else but the academics.
Well, don't you think this area is terribly success-oriented?
I mean, probably for you people back in the 1970s, that was probably the catchphrase maybe of a lot of your parents. Well, sooner or later, it'll become success career-oriented. But it will happen mainly because you've been conditioned in those values by living in the community for all the time you were in high school. And certainly, I think if any members of any of these classes still live in the community or remained at home or went off for 4 years to college and came back to live at home, those values would have been pretty dominant in terms of influencing them.
10 years is enough to get some education, get some thought process involved, and you get an idea of whether their goals or whether they reach their goals or not. 10 years is enough time to establish something.
What's your main reason for coming up from Tampa, Florida to come to this reunion?
Gee, tough questions. Did you ask these questions to everyone?
Why did you decide to attend the reunion?
I thought it would be interesting to see what everybody was doing after 10 years. Thought it would be fun.
We should have had our 5th year reunion.
My own school would never have a reunion.
Yeah.
But Americans are into this nostalgia kick.
What was your reason for coming here tonight?
Get a chance to see everybody again, see how they're doing, see how everybody's looking. Curiosity.
To see our old friends and to find excuses for those people who moved far away to come back to Franklin Lakes.
To see a lot of old friends and have a good time.
It's true that you think in your high school in terms of like your closest friends, not this huge thing, yuppies and professionals and whatever.
And we have 10-year reunions like at least once a month in the brownstone.
I basically came to the reunion because I was interested in what people are doing, but also because I have something to share with people. I really believe that my life has changed over the past 10 years a lot. And
you look different.
Praise God. I say that it's God. I give God all the glory for the changes that have happened to me.
So I come back saying to those people, don't worry, even though there were people like me, God can save them, be encouraged. And I come back to other people who were like me, and I say, hey, I hope you didn't keep going in the way you were, because it just wasn't very good.
How important is money?
Very. Extremely.
Are you making good money?
I'm making great money, yeah. I got a horse, I got a motorcycle, I got an airplane. What more can anybody want, you know?
We got $1 million judgment against PepsiCo.
Never making enough money downtown. There's always room to make a heck of a lot more.
Okay, is money important to you?
Not now.
What do you mean not now?
Maybe it will be in 20 years, I don't know.
Do you make a lot of money?
No.
No, not cash, but entertainment funds I can work on well, yeah.
I don't make much at all. He's got a job that makes a fairly good amount of money, so, you know, it's his partnership, so I can do something that doesn't make as much money because he makes a little bit more. It makes us comfortable.
Could you tell me, do you make a lot of money?
Not enough.
Yeah, I'm happy with my life. We're making more money than I expected.
Yeah, things are great.
Yeah, it's good. Life's good.
Things are great. Excellent money.
Absolutely. I'm like rolling in it.
Yes, I would say overly comfortable.
Well, what about you? What kind of job do you have?
I have an interesting job.
Yeah.
I am the travel editor at Brides Magazine. I always worked during high school, and I always worked during college. And I mean, I think I was trained and brought up to work.
Right now I'm illustrating paperback novel covers.
I work at Saks Fifth Avenue as a buyer.
I do collision work.
I'm working with people all around the state who are fighting toxic chemical pollution.
Ollie picked me up instantly. I was hanging out, I was walking up and down Fifth Avenue one day, and all of a sudden they said, "We got a job for you," and I've been there now, it's my 4th year. And I've been getting to do a lot of good travel.
Ollie said?
What?
What's the airline?
Aliyah. The Royal Jordanian Airline. We're the airline of Jordan.
We sue major corporations on behalf of local Mexican-American border residents that have been injured by products built by gringo companies. And we try them in courts made up of liberal, democratic, Mexican-American border pals.
I work for a reinsurer firm, which is part of General Electric Credit Corporation.
Are you happy with that?
Couldn't be happier. Having a lot of fun.
Any particular kind of law that you're working in?
Bankruptcy and real estate.
I work in New York City for Crum & Forster Insurance Companies in their Ocean Marine Department. I'm an underwriter for imports and exports.
I graduated from medical school 2 years ago, and I'm now in a radiology residency in Greenwich Village in New York City. I want to be successful in my career, which means a couple more years of residency, a year of fellowship. Can't have kids till I'm mid-30s or whatever, you know, and that's really tough.
I sell drugs now. I'm a pharmacist, so I do sell drugs, and I do feel better about that.
What kind of doctor?
Family medicine.
And I'm a career person right now. So,
what do you do?
I'm a nurse and a teacher.
When I started playing, I was playing guitar, and there was a very bad shortage of bass players, and I started playing bass. I could sing a little bit. You know, rock and roll is there, it's in your blood. If you don't wish to quit, you don't quit. Some people give up fast. I have, as they say, sold out to working a regular job and playing on the side, but I'm still waiting for that moment.
I'm a chef.
I built some houses around here to help build them in urban farms, mansions, $1 million houses, man, slate roofs and everything.
I also work for the New Jersey Generals football team. I'm a professional cheerleader. I haven't had enough.
Oh, I'm a graduate student at Princeton University.
I am a very serious historian of American Catholic culture.
I'm a marketing rep for IBM. No, I'm doing it because it's a great company, you know, good money, good security, good job, good position.
Are you satisfied?
No.
Why?
Too much responsibility, too little money, and it's not enough fun.
What would you rather be doing?
Carpentry.
I sell yellow pages.
Are you successful?
Number 1.
I happen to be a salesman.
What do you sell?
Data processing.
I'm a telecommunications salesman for Burroughs. I thought I'd be retired right now, you know, but no, I thought I'd try to probably be a lawyer, but I ended up as a salesperson.
I am a salesperson for rubber manufacturing.
I sell airplanes.
Do you consider yourself a successful human being? Not a human being, though. Successful businessman. I'm a failure as a human being. That's okay.
Do you think people are trying to impress each other here tonight at the reunion?
I think to some extent everyone's trying to. You gotta face the truth. I mean, you know, you're not gonna come looking your worst or that, you know, that kind of a thing. But not as much as I expected it to be that way.
You can tell that people, you know, really went out of their way to get dressed up. The guys look nice, they're all suited up.
Did you spend a lot of time preparing for tonight, getting dressed and putting on makeup and deciding what to wear? No.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
If he got home early, I would have been able to. With a 4.5-month-old baby who's up until he came home.
I've been hearing about this thing for about maybe 2 months now, you know. It's been a big deal.
About an hour.
Just an hour?
An hour and a half.
She wanted to hide her gray hair.
I came across it. I said, I have to wear this sucker. Does anybody else have theirs?
Did you spend a lot of time getting dressed to come here tonight?
No, I came from work.
None whatsoever. I waited till the close of the market today. I had several martinis downtown, and I promptly hopped in a train and came out to Franklin Lakes.
Do you think people here are trying to impress one another?
No, I really don't think so. I really don't think so. I think people are being very candid. I don't think there's much left to impressing people. I think we're all past that by about 10 years.
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think people have been pretty natural.
No, not at all. Not at all. I came here, I got my white suit on, I had my white hat on that I checked in at the counter, and as far as what they think of me or what I think of them it doesn't matter.
I haven't gotten that impression, no.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, here's my husband, John. He's a lawyer.
Okay. I don't know why not, but they haven't impressed me, and I'm not trying to impress anybody else. I just don't see it.
Doesn't seem to be that way, no.
No, I think I felt it was going to be that way, right? Yeah, I did, but I don't think it's nice to see that everybody really seems to be just themselves, and it's nice to see that everybody I've seen is doing quite well for themselves.
I saw a few people passing out business cards.
Really?
It's kind of interesting.
We grew up in, I think, a rather privileged community. We went to a very nice high school, you know, albeit it was a public high school.
And what I'm trying to say is, that's what I brought to this pagan, secular, materialist, humanist environment.
I think the suburbs are so sterile, so like manicured, it's unreal. I mean, I think it's an unreal existence for kids to grow up here.
Where do you live?
I live right over here behind courts 9 through 13. I'm the closest person here.
I've moved 10 or 15 times, but they've all been within a mile or so of the high school.
Maybe the first or second time I came back to town was a year or two after I graduated, was something special. But after that, it was nothing. There was just bigger and better things to do, different things to see.
We all had finished 2 years of college, and Jim just bought a new F-250 with a cap on the back, and we all took off and drove all over the, north, down south to California, and out west to Florida. This lasted 3 months. This is mostly a drinking discovery of America kind of a trip.
You were in Germany, right?
Yeah, for 2 years.
What was that like?
Oh, that was fun. It was really nice. We lived in Heidelberg for 2 years. And it was a beautiful city. And I don't know. It seems so far away now.
I rode a bicycle across America, and I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years.
Where were you?
Africa, West Africa, Cameroon.
I've done a lot of different things. I've lived in a diversified farm. I've raised my own animals. I've slaughtered my own animals. We eat all our own meat. We eat all of our own homegrown vegetables. We have a solar heated house, and I heat with wood. And are you very happy? Very.
What do you remember most about high school?
High school? Well, not much.
That's not fair. Memories of high school.
Especially old girlfriends.
Yeah, a lot of fun with some of the girls.
Fondest memories in high school were probably
Sex. Whatever there was there, I don't know.
Did you have sex for the first time when you were in high school?
Yeah, well, I could say yes and I could say no, but I'd probably say yes.
Of course.
Of course. Is the person here tonight?
Junior high. So I'm the first man that admitted it.
Hey, you had it in 6th grade in Kaiser's class, pal. Come on.
Tell us anything about high school, what you remember.
I played baseball. I was the best.
The parties.
Parties.
It's a very unpleasant one, I'm afraid. It's one of not doing what you wanted to do, but doing what you felt other people wanted you to do. Or what you could do to be accepted by other people.
Favorite thing about high school was graduating. Yeah, that was about, no, everybody, all the people there, I think everybody was great, a great bunch of people.
What does the 600 wing mean to you?
Yeah, I saw some of the best colors in my life, and sometimes I got ripped off there.
It's a very meaningful number. I had several missions in the 600, one in the morning and one in the afternoon.
And they say it's a lovely wing, and when there weren't people hiding in the trees, it was real good.
600 wing?
That's where we used to smoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
remember that?
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah?
We used to smoke pot there. It was real fun.
I think as high as I went was the 500 wing.
How was going back to the 500 or the 400 wing after being in the 600 wing?
Well, again, it all depends on what class you had. If it was German, it was great. Mathematics and algebra didn't work out so well.
I can't speak Spanish to this day because of that.
They were actually much easier.
Made the class go easy.
Tiring.
We didn't learn too much out there, but it was interesting.
Well, I'll tell you the main thing. I got an education, and I graduated. I graduated from the 600 wing. Sunshine's the name. Sunshine acid, outrageous. A lot of Colombian pot. It was made famous. The weird thing was the fact that people were experimenting not only with drugs but reproduction out in the woods. It was crazy.
Certain social drugs occasionally, but gets less as the years go by. Okay.
My brother and some of his friends were just starting to come back from Vietnam, and I was sort of aware of it then, and I think that's when I first began getting high, but I don't think anybody actually turned me on. I think I found some of my brothers, and I just tried it on my own. Second year in high school, I had pot, LSD, speed, you name it. That's what certain people were doing. I'm not admitting that I might have done anything my own, but it was fun. It was adventuresome. It was a thing to do.
I was a pretty confirmed hedonist, I'd say. You know, I took a lot of drugs, I drank a lot, and did anything else that I thought was pleasing to me.
You know, I never had a chance to experience the 600 wing.
Is that a fact?
Yep. Never indulged.
I was very innocent in high school, so I don't know anything about that.
I wasn't really a stoner.
No?
Not so much, no. I wish I had some cocaine right now. If there was heroin, I would shoot it right up on camera. Legalize drugs. I hope the scientists are working on some good new drugs. Timothy Leary says they're working on drugs that make you more intelligent, that make you more loving. I'm all for that.
You're still doing drugs? Yeah, obviously.
Did they test them on round?
What do you think so far of the reunion?
Well, I was really surprised at first when I got here that there were so many faces that I recognized, but I was calling people by the wrong names.
You know a lot of faces, and it's a little tough to put names to faces tonight.
Do you like reunions?
From my perspective, you know, I can take them or leave them.
Are you enjoying the reunion?
Yeah. Yeah, after a few drinks more, I'll probably enjoy it.
Having a great time. Really is good. Really happy to see everybody, and can't really say any more about that.
This one's pretty nice. I'm having a good time. I'm really having a good time. It's a lot of good high energy here.
We're all pumped up. We're all ready.
I really like the stroganoff.
It's wild here tonight.
Are you having a good time tonight?
Everybody likes a little ass, nobody likes a smart ass. That's my attitude.
You think you're a smart ass?
Nah, I think I'm having an awfully good time.
everybody is very friendly here. It's a nice little gathering.
Are you comfortable being here right now?
Fantastic. We were a bit nervous on the way here.
I'm very nervous because, you know, most of the people, you know, I wanted to get in their pants when I was in high school, and now I'm seeing them again here, and it's very awkward for me. These girls, they look voluptuous.
I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who was going to be here or, you know, who I was going to see. It's a lot more fun, especially after we've all had about 7 drinks.
I was pretty psyched to be here. Actually, I was quite nervous. I had to have about 5 drinks before, you know, before I could come in and see people.
I had to calm him down a few times. He called me about 3 o'clock in the morning and really had reservations about coming, but I talked him into it.
It's overwhelming, I think. You know, so many lives, so many changes, being hit with the past, and yet it's not the past because it's new also.
What are people talking about here?
I'm pretty much sitting at a table with friends from long, you know, 10 or 15, 20 years even. So we're just kind of talking about what we're doing right now more than anything else, you know.
Are these people...
We're not really rehashing old times because, you know, we've done that.
Well, they seem to be talking a lot about what they did in high school. Somewhat about what they're doing now.
I feel that people are just trying to see each other and get to know each other and find out what each other are doing.
So you think they're being basically natural and curious?
Sure.
Well, they're talking about the Reagan landslide. And they're all happy that he won.
What about it?
Well, we're all happy that he won.
Why?
Well, we're resident fascists here.
I was standing on this line, and I looked over to my side and I said, wow, this guy, he was with a couple of women, maybe a girlfriend, a wife, and a couple of friends and his girlfriends. And they were talking, and I said, Garth. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, Garth. I said, man, you were a good, no, here's what I did. I always do this. When I meet somebody with a girl, a woman, a friend, I said, he was a good drummer. Like, I don't say it directly, I say it to the friend. And he was embarrassed because I kept trying to get through to him, and he was looking away, and I was looking at him. These people just kept jabbering, no hipness at all, like no awareness. And I said, wait a minute, Garth, I don't just mean you were a good drummer. I said, you really moved me. I said, you know, you really moved me, man. And then he looked at me, and his head just was like, for about 10 seconds, he just looked at me like, you know, like very appreciatively. He said, hey, he said, thanks, man. You know what I mean? And that's it.
How have things changed for you in the last 10 years?
Personally, not a heck of a lot, nor do I think it's changed for anyone else in the class in general. I think all of our goals and aspirations were pretty much aligned back then, and I think they're the same now. The only thing that's different now, I think, is that people are dressing a little bit differently, and that they're associated with firms, and they're making a lot of money and having a lot of fun, and it's just the most fantastic graduating class that I know of.
Not too much, mostly receding hairlines and things like that.
The guys have changed more than the girls in appearance. Their hair in high school was a lot longer, of course, than it is now. It had no style, it was just long. Now it's obviously shorter.
Physically, people look a little different. They look a little bit more mature and older, but I think if I started to talk to them, I'd find that they're pretty much the same. Have you changed? I hope so.
People look older.
Are their personalities different?
No, personalities are the same on most people.
Everybody looks super. They look the same. I recognize them. Basically, everybody, you know, I don't think we look any older.
A lot of the people that are here look exactly the same. A lot of them haven't changed at all.
I think they're still as stuffy as they used to be.
The class is the same as it was in 1974.
Most of the guys are doing pretty much what I expected them to be doing, and in general, I think all the changes have been for the better.
Have they changed any?
Much worse. There's been a serious regression in the overall performance of the class, and I'm a little disappointed, frankly. I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
Well, there's no more nose picking, farting in public. In fact, I haven't seen anybody wet their pants, which disturbs me.
We had a really diverse class.
Now, 10 years after high school, you're accepted no matter what you do.
Have they changed any in the last 10 years?
Oh yes, a lot of changes. I see a lot of growth in a lot of different ways.
I just think that a lot of people have stuck around, and I'm really surprised.
I understand a lot of people like have moved far away too.
I've been just stuck in a rock and roll type of state. But I grew up and I voted for Reagan.
Everyone else here seems a lot more conservative, a lot more upwardly mobile. A lot more goal-oriented that they weren't 10 years ago.
I'd say the Reagan landslide was more than adequately reflected in this class.
Are you disappointed at all that most of the people seem to have lost a lot of their idealism and that they're doing, you know, more things just for materialistic ends?
I don't know. I wish that, you know, I could spend more time talking to some people just to see what's beneath the surface, because probably they haven't. Probably a lot of people haven't lost that feeling, but they've decided for various reasons, practical reasons or whatever, to go in another direction. So it's a very hard question to answer. I don't know if I'm disappointed. I think I kind of expected that. A lot of people would have done it, and it's kind of like, it's difficult to imagine people doing other things. The pressures are really great.
It's weird, I think, to come back and see all the deadheads that made something of themselves.
I decided that materialistic views of the country had some value. And I decided I wanted to take advantage of the bounty of the country.
I hung out with a group of people that were labeled as derelicts, drug addicts, probably not going to accomplish anything in their life. One of my best friends is an A-7 fighter pilot. He's taking target practice in the Caribbean right now. He couldn't be here. The other one is working for a Swiss company, speaking fluent German. Another one is an attorney. Another one is a sales manager. What I want to tell you is, we haven't changed. We're the same.
And here I am, showing off, acting silly and foolish at the reunion like everybody else.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.